Okay, we're in the Nature 2.0 track where crazy shit is being created, and now we're at Buffalo.Network, and they also have a team which led by the team leader, Natalie Drost. And Natalie, what did you create?
We created the circular economy as a service. We were thinking of redesigning how we think of ownership, and we've seen this at Spotify, for example. Spotify changed the whole concept of ownership when it came to music, and we thought we can learn from that, and we're going to do it again. Because humans are the only species that throw stuff away, for some reasons we don't even know. And we think we can learn from nature in doing that. Combining this with the Spotify model, we're doing circular as a service.
Circular as a service. That's a really nice, interesting idea. So, how does it work? What kind of services and what kind of instruments have you taken? I see a hammer. I mean, the hammer. The hammer is a really good way to show it too. How does it work?
The hammer is the perfect example, right? Because everyone has a hammer, and there's probably a million out there, but you might as well service them with just having 1,000. Because a hammer you use maybe once a year. So we are thinking of having only 1,000 hammers and then being serviced around the network, switching from material wealth to functional wealth, because that's in essence what we need.
Stuff as a service, and how's the ownership model working, and the business model and all the transactions going with that?
Yeah, see, that's where we're going into the future, because ownership is then a concept that's non-existent. Because if we have an unlimited amount of resources like hammers, because they're pretty much abundant, then we might as well just share them around and give and take from the network when you need it, where you need it.
So we have a demo of how this works. I mean, this looks a little bit like PRB, yeah? PRB basically sharing that with the neighbors, and you've created what's your name?
I'm Dean.
Dean. Tell me, what have you done, and show me the demo.
Yeah, sure. So basically what we have here is an Ethereum app. This is a mock-up of the mobile app that we have the back-end designed for. Yep. And so basically what the user would do is they would log in with their Ethereum account. What that means is that the Buffalo.Network does not own the assets on the network, and we can't edit any of the entries. So the user has full control over what they're actually accessing.
I just have my wallet, and basically with my wallet I sign in. Yep.
So we sign in. Then the screen is pretty basic, so it's very...
So it's completely anonymous, right? It's an anonymous login.
Or pseudonymous, yeah. You can add identifying attributes to your desire.
Keep it still, because we're filming the camera, yeah?
I see, cool.
Yeah.
So what we have here is a heat map of the resources that are in the network. So as people add to the commons, we can see it grow and grow and grow, and we can see where those resources are actually located. So let's say that you want to register an item yourself to the commons so that other people can take from it. What you would do is you would click Give, and then you would have an entry point where you can start adding, the information for your actual asset. Yeah. So let's add a screwdriver, and when we do that, we can register it to the commons. Boom. Now, someone else will be able to actually take the screwdriver, and it will send a notification to me to send it to their location.
And come pick it up, if you're in my neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah, or maybe in the future we could use some drones to do some pickup and delivery. And if the drones are powered by solar panels, it doesn't cost anything for delivery as well. Okay. So, let's say then you've already given to the network, so now you've given some contributions, and it's time to take something out of it yourself. So we can explore some of the resources that are in the comments. We have a power drill, screwdriver, 3D printing machine. Let's say I have some work to do at the shop, so I'm going to rent this power drill here. It's telling me where it's located, and then when I confirm, the user, who actually owns it now, will get a notification, and they'll send it my way.
So in giving, I get points also. There's loyalty points and getting out. So that's basically based on loyalty. The whole system is working.
We think of it as like a footprint. Like with torrenting, there's seeding and leeching. So it's the idea that even though data is infinite, there's still bandwidth that you have to control. And that's kind of similar with this. So we have a footprint that will grow and shrink, and you want to keep your footprint as small as possible.
So the loyalty system is built in. What is exactly stored on the blockchain?
So on the blockchain, we have a series of the assets that are registered to BigChainDB. So basically it just lists the actual asset itself, where it's located, the weight of it for transportation reasons, and then the rough location. Yeah. Okay.
And where do you work?
So I work in Amsterdam and in Haarlem with APG. Yep.
Pension fund, the pension fund.
Pensions.
So what does this have to do with a pension fund?
Well, we're in the Nature 2.0 track, but I can still make that transition in the fact that, let's say, pensions are for buying stuff later in the future, right? You save money now so you can buy it later. But if we're creating an economy where you can access what you need when you need it, that decreases your cost by quite a bit, because you no longer need to accumulate all these tools.
My pension won't be anymore in money. My pension will be in all kinds of services, and you'll organize as a pension company that in the most sophisticated, easy, efficient way.
The way we think of it is instead of a garage of things, you have a database of things.
That is rethinking pension 2.0. You already have been busy with APG, with blockchain, right?
Correct, correct.
What can we expect? Because I mean, a pension fund, I think of very slow administrative stuff with billions and billions of dollars, and everything is very hard, and it's already hard to go from one job to the other. What are you doing with blockchain? What is going to happen in your organization?
It's definitely not investing in crypto, because that's one of the first concerns. No, it's creating a more efficient administration. So it's exactly what you says. The old systems tend to be rather slow, and it's hard to make changes. And we think that this technology can really help in rethinking how we can do this and create a more efficient administration, lower the costs, so that people get more out of their pension.
And will I also be able to take my pension with me? I mean, that's of course. If you have a bunch of competitors needing to work together, then the blockchain sounds like maybe an interesting concept.
Yes, that's what we're looking into, because if you switch pension funds, that's a use case we're looking into of being able to do that in a very easy way. And that's definitely what it allows, the blockchain technology, because then you work together with different parties.
What is your experiences with APG? Because you also have a special challenge right here. So you're now Nature 2.0. You're doing, but you also have a challenge. What was the challenge of APG?
They have 2 tracks, which is a FIRE track, so that's preparing for, it's sort of like a financial planning for your future, and there's one value before retirement. So they have 2 tracks in which they have 5 teams each participating. It's really to get new ideas that we cannot think of without the blockchain team of APG, to try to have the brightest minds thinking on that, and perhaps also getting it to do it with them together and to get them inside of the business and expand.
You're part of the blockchain team of APG?
Yes, I am.
And how big is that inside APG?
That's hard to count, because we have a
little bit involved.
Yes, that's about it, yeah.
So it's interesting. Pension funds, I mean, if you would think of the most, just like very organized bureaucratic systems, are thinking about flexibility adding through the blockchain. Very inspiring.